How much is Kipchoge? Can Eliud Kipchoge hang on?
Well, it's a very good question, because can you imagine, as they go through the Brandenburg Gate, them being side by side? The smile is there. Is it a grimace? Is it the Kipchoge version of a grimace? His 38th kilometre at 3:03, his 39th kilometre at 3:01, Chris. And just looking as he's approaching 40k, there he goes through 2:55. He has rallied. Maybe he got a little glance at those behind him. Kipchoge 1:56.06 at 40k.
He's picked it up. And you know, last year he did back-to-back 2:52s in the last 2 kilometres, and he looks as though he's rallied here. Maybe the message got through and he's just picked it up. He's not about to relinquish his Berlin crown that easily, and there's a definite injection of pace. And has he got enough of a buffer there to get him home over the line? 31 seconds at 40k, so they've made up 16 seconds over 5 kilometres. The gap is still a reasonably healthy 31 seconds. Can they make that up in 2.2 kilometres?
I think they're going to run out of road now. That's still over half a minute, Chris. He's, as you said, his previous couple of kilometres have been a 3:03, a 3:01. That 40th kilometre for the world record holder, 2:56. The competitive instincts coming to the surface now as he realises he's in danger, and he's having to dig very, very deep here. There's still loads of bounce in that gorgeous stride of his. The world record 2:01.29, and look at those winning times, Chris. I mean, they just get quicker and quicker.
Well, that's his record here in Berlin, the 4 victories. He's heading for number 5. Haile Gebrselassie has also won on 4 occasions, so if he can hang on here, he would be out on his own in terms of Berlin wins. It would be 5 out of 6. There's the chaser, Kipchoge in the red. There he is on debut, having the race of his life. And what an incentive that is. Has he got enough time? There is that Gendarmenmarkt, one of the loveliest squares in the whole of Berlin. They'll do a series of dog legs, turning left, then right, then left, then right, and eventually they'll come out onto Unter den Linden. And there, Kipchoge will see the Brandenburg Gate and a familiar sight. And he knows almost every inch of this tarmac. He's run it on so many occasions, and all bar one, he's won it. Into the last kilometre or so. Still looking full of bounce. This has been a very different race for Eliud Kipchoge to any other one he's done here in Berlin. The clock ticking round to approaching the 2-hour mark. The world record is not going to be beaten today. The sub-2 that we thought might be on in the early parts of the race has gone as well, well gone. And he's picked it up, hasn't he here, Tim? I think he's picked up the knees. The cadence is increasing.
We are going to see a world record, however, in that women's contest. There's little doubt of that now. I can tell you, Tigista Safer is still pumping out 3:07 per kilometre. If she was going to run 2:14 exactly, she'd be running 3:10 per kilometre. But she's way inside that. She's going to threaten the 2:12 barrier. I mean, her last kilometre, a 3:02 now, at 38k for Tigista Safer. Her projected finishing time has come down to 2:12.07. Can you believe? It is, she's pushing now a 2-minute improvement on the world record.
Well, the current world recorder in the men's race has got one more significant turn to come. That's his view. He will turn left onto Unter den Linden in the sunshine. And it feels from here as though he's done enough. We look out for the red vest of Kipchoge behind him, the debutant, but Eliud Kipchoge turning left then, and the familiar sight of Unter den Linden, the tree-lined avenue, so significant over the years. The Hotel Adlon will come into view on his left. And from here, we can't see it, but Eliud Kipchoge can. There he can now. There is the Brandenburg Gate. And from there, he knows it's less than a lap of the track in track terms. Surely now, he can't be beaten. The clock ticks round to 2 hours and 30 seconds. The world record will have to wait for another day, but Eliud Kipchoge is now on his way to a 5th Berlin victory.
Chris, that glorious sight of Kipchoge with just a few hundred meters to go. The glorious sight for him for the first time with the Brandenburg Gate. That is almost like the finish line. It's like a forewarning of the finish. If he gets there in first place with a gap behind him, then he can enjoy those last 352 meters to the finish line. He can stride out, wave to the crowd, and accept his 5th victory. That is surely what's coming his way. It has been yet again a marvelous performance from Kipchoge, who for so long threatened the world record, but now is just threatening to win for the 5th time, barring disaster. He's nearly home and dry.
Well, his current world record has just come and gone. 2:01.09 was last year. It's still going to be a pretty good time. He's still going to come in and around 2:02 and bits, but the sunshine is out as he goes through the arches of the famous Brandenburg Gate, opened in 1791, and from here it's 352 meters, less than a lap of the track. He's been here so many times before. The crowd going crazy. The sunshine is out and the stage is set for Eliud Kipchoge, who for the first time looks over his shoulder. The victory is secure. They had been threatening to come back at him. At one point, we were talking about sub 2 hours. At another point for much of the race, we talked about a new world record. That's not to be. But Eliud Kipchoge now is on his way to victory number 5 here in Berlin. Another masterful performance on the streets of the German capital. And now he can enjoy his moment. The pressure is off. Kipchoge in the red is behind him. What a race he's had. He will bring him home in a few minutes, but he's almost there. The finish line is there. The last few meters for Eliud Kipchoge. A different race here in Berlin for the first time, but it's victory number 5 for Eliud Kipchoge. 2:02.40 the winning time. The world record not bothered today, but he won't mind. He moves ahead of Haile Gebrselassie with a 5th victory in total in Berlin. That's 16 wins in 19 marathons. And what about the story here for our second placer? Brilliant performance. Vincent Kipchoge, his first ever marathon. No wonder he's celebrating. What a moment for the youngster. Yes, that's all about marathon running. Well done to Kipchoge. And Tadesse Tekele comes home in 3rd. The 2 debutants, 2nd and 3rd. Tekele from Ethiopia, the 21-year-old, comes home in 3rd place. So the master gets the victory. And the 2 apprentices, well, they've learnt their craft really well on this opening day. Brilliant performance by Eliud Kipchoge, and the Kenyan crowds, who are out here in number, are loving their moment. Victory number 5, a 5-star performance from Eliud Kipchoge.
And the Kenyans celebrate yet again in style, proudly waving their banners aloft. What a run from Kipchoge. Officially his time 2:02.42, by the way.